Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sherelle, and in this video I'm going to show you how I got around Seoul using different forms of transportation. The first form of transportation I'm going to talk about is the airport bus. This is what I took when I landed at Incheon. It's the best way to get into Seoul comfortably. If you have a lot of suitcases, you can easily buy a ticket at one of the kiosks or at a stand like I did, where you can have an attendant help you. They'll help you buy a ticket and direct you to one of these poles where you can stand and wait for your bus. It takes about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half to get into the city, depending on traffic. Now you can use the subway, which I'll talk about later in this video, but I do like it. The airport bus, it was not crowded at all. It was very quiet. They had air conditioning and the seats were very comfortable. The driver had a screen where it would tell you what stop was coming up next, so you knew when you had to prepare to get off. And every stop is labeled airport bus, so that is very good for someone who's first time coming to Korea. I will also recommend the airport buses getting into the city if you come in late as well. Our first time coming to Korea, our flight landed very late. We landed about 9 p.m. and you do want to be mindful of the subway. Sometimes they stop running at a certain time. Depending on your location in Korea, I would recommend the bus. We were very lucky that our bus went directly to a stop that was located in front of our hotel. So if we wanted to go back to this stop to go directly to the airport, we could. We decided to stay at a couple of different hotels during our stay in Korea, so I will show you that in separate videos. But this hotel was great. We stayed at the Grand Intercontinental Seoul Parnis, and I'll have a separate video for this hotel. The Grand Intercontinental is one of my favorite hotels to stay at here in Seoul, mainly because it's connected to the Starfield Coex Library, and I love to get here early to take good pictures. It's right downstairs and convenient, and this is a great area in general. If you want to see that video, please click the playlist below in the description bar. The second form of transportation that I want to talk about are taxis. When we were transporting from hotel to hotel, we used taxis so that we wouldn't have to take our suitcases in the subway. We have 3 suitcases during this trip, 1 large and 2 carry-ons, and this was convenient. The taxis are not as expensive compared to here in the United States. A 20-minute taxi ride could have easily been $30 to $50 here in the United States, but in Korea it was about $20, and that was the best way to get from hotel to hotel, and I would recommend that if you do have a lot of suitcases. The next form of transportation I want to talk about are the subways. The subway is going to be your best friend here in Korea, as it is the fastest way to get around the city, and most of the lines are color-coded. The first time riding the subway, we bought a single ride ticket, which we were only planning to take the subway sparingly. We were going to plan on taking taxis, but the subway ended up being the most effective way to get around Korea. I would highly recommend getting a T-Money card because you will get your value's worth, and as well as these single ride tickets weren't bad. It's just you keep having to buy them, and it can be a little bit of an inconvenience if you're going to take the subway all around Korea. Now, we did have pocket Wi-Fi when we were in Korea, and I would recommend using Maps and Naver. They're going to be your best friends to navigate the city. I found that using, I was unsure that Google Maps would work, but I know Maps work pretty good. I would recommend mapping station to station. It found to be the easiest way to get around Korea, and it was able for us to locate the stations easily. So I would definitely download those apps. I will say that the subway can get crowded at times, but just do keep calm. Everyone's trying to get to their location, and I found that the transfer points were very located, so you can always just wait a train or two if you want to wait for the crowd to die down, which is what we tend to do, and you'll still get to your destinations, especially if you're in no rush. The good thing about the single ride tickets is that you can return the card and you'll get some money back. So I thought that was an interesting fact. We end up having a lot of change by the end of this trip, so I will save that for our next trip. But I do love taking the subway in Korea. It's clean, it's well labeled, and there's always staff members around to help you. I would recommend getting the WowPass as well. I saw advertisement for this while we were in Korea, so that's something I'm going to look into next time, as well as I'm going to list some information below. I thought that this would be an interesting way of picking up from the airport next time, so I'll show you that when we go to Korea the next time. The next form of transportation I want to talk about is just walking. A lot of the tourist areas are near each other, so you can just walk from location to location. For instance, we walked from Myeongdong to King Sejong to the palace, all within the same day. They're located right next to each other. We walked all around Hyundai, and I would say it's the best way to see Korea is just simply by walking. You'll find the best cafes this way as well. The next form of transportation I wanted to talk about was the bus, but our last few days in Korea, it rained. So I would love for you to comment down in the comment bar below to let us know how the bus is. I do plan on taking the bus the next time we're in Korea, but the rain really deferred our plans. Our last full day in Korea, we stayed at the Grand Hyatt Incheon, which I'll have a video coming out shortly. This hotel has an airport shuttle and it's near the airport. This hotel is made up of 2 towers, east and west. The hotel offers numerous restaurants as well as cafes and a pool area and a fitness area. The plan for this day was to walk around the area and possibly eat at a restaurant, but we end up staying in the hotel because of the rain. It seems like a very nice area, and I would love to go back to explore this area to see what else there is to do here. Pro travel tip, I always choose hotels on the last day that have shuttles to the airport, as I find that the last few days of the trip, I'm starting to get on the tired end, and I'd love to have a comfortable ride to the airport. We did take the Grand Hyatt Incheon shuttle to the airport, which only took about 10 minutes. And we have made it back to the airport. So I hope you enjoyed the different forms of transportation we took while here in Korea and Seoul. I would love to hear how you get around Seoul and if there's other forms that I didn't share, as I do plan on going back to Korea and I'd love to use some other means of transportation. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to our channel as it helps us grow here on YouTube. Like and share this video with a friend going to Korea, and we hope to share more travel content coming soon.